Hello future tech leaders, I am Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. A cloud foundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds.
We have seen how parameters are important. Even for lookup, for retrieval or for saving, we have seen parameters are important. It has to be passed on the data source as well as the data save options and even in your data transform. And I think we have also seen a few things related to the report definitions. How you would be able to retrieve data or filter data using your parameters on the report definition. I think we have seen few things related to that. And we were also able to run the pages individually. We were able to check how many instances of data is being retrieved, what is being saved. We were able to check all of that. Any questions on savable pages or any other aspects related to DB? One question. Yesterday you mentioned that the sequence was, first we retrieve the data. In the page, the source will get run. Then in the what was the option where we write the operation, there will post processing. They will have data transform run first and the validator and then what we have mentioned in the save type. Correct? Now, if I want to change the context of it, will I be able to? If I want to change the context to different class, I want not the class in which the page is made. Can I do that? Different class, as in see the page is not specific to a class. D page will not have any applies to class. What it will have is only object type. I mean, what kind of data is correct? It's like a carrier. What kind of data it can hold? Is it candidate data? Is it employee data? Or is it customer data? Only that could be there. And if you want to change the context, as in you want to save another kind of data. Is that what you're asking? I suppose. Let's take this scenario. You are savable pages for. Now you say I would like to save an employee. Is that what you're asking? Candidate for the database. Yes, let me. This is the data that your D page is holding. Is it student or something? Yes. Now you see, your savable to page is for data as student, which means this holds data related to a student template. Retrieval also brings only student. Now you're saying instead of student, I will use something else. Is that what you're saying? For example, candidate. Here, if you see now, I'm in the data dash candidate here. The param cannot be a side anymore. Let's see. The data that you're creating has to be part of the data dash candidate class, not on the earlier we created it from student class. Student candidate yes. You see? Look at this. From the data transform is created in data dash candidate. But what happened is the system is directly from the page for me. The inputs are candidate calls. Here, when this was his primary, which means the data that indeed it has is primary. Is going to work, but context is bigger than. Has ideally the thing is, whatever you retrieve the same thing, you would like to put it back onto the DB. I mean the whole purpose of savable data pages, both retrieval and write together. But what you said is, maybe when you're looking at a flow action, for example, on flow action, I can savable pages. This is what you're talking about. On the post-processing, here I can add multiple savable databases. Here it would be student. It could be a candidate also. That way is not really sure this is going to work. I'll check on this one. I'll update you. Because the class was mentioned there. I thought that I can't change the context of it. God. But on the data transform, if you see, initially we took a save page. I just check on this one. It works, I'll let you know. Can you go back to the data page? Here there's a small checkbox, local save. It was unchecked. What will happen if I check the checkbox and then proceed? This local save. Save does not modify an external system here. If you're called candidate or you're called student, if it is there on the external system, this will not impact it. I'll show it from the head. And we're going to move on. It's part of the flow. I think the only option is save, does not modify an external system. Once I click on local save, it would be applicable only for your application alone. If not, disable this. Local save is anyways happening. Let me check once on this also. Because if I check it anyways, local save is not happening, is what it says. Check it local, save will happen. What does this have to do with external system? I'll check. Next one moment. There's this option called the when user connect, it has to be on some other external application only. Agreed. No, when I change it, make any changes directly impacted on the external application. But when I mentioned it as a database save, of course it happened on my application. Definitely for sure. What about the external application? Do I need to update it or not? Is part of this local save. If I check it, it means it will be on the same test. And I don't think this would be available for other options. I think it should be available. I see for activity. Only for connector. We don't see it because that's clear cut that it is part of some other external application. If I uncheck it, does the changes really go to the external system also? Correct. Understood. Can you open the activity where we have used save data page method? Any activity in my activity? Can you expand obj save? Now, if I check now, it will be immediately committed to the DB. But if I uncheck it yesterday, you told that it will go in the next cycle. the commit will happen. But how will we know in which cycle the commit is going to happen? Cycle as in, let me put it this way. See, this now means as and when the step is executed. Now step 4 successfully means this is a return to the DB. I will see that record present on the database. Now suppose let's take this scenario when you are dealing with actual enterprise applications. What happens is we will not have tables one by one. Instead, you will update all the tables together. Like, for example, there's the policy related transaction that you are working. You are taking a policy that's issued. In the back end, there will be a lot of tables that have to be updated. Maybe the policy table, transaction table, your name, insure table address, table policy details table. Let's assume some 10 tables have to be updated with your record. Now if I start writing OBJCV for all of them, and if I write, not if I use right now, somewhere after 5 tables, something would go wrong. By then, 5 tables are already updated, 5 are yet to be updated. It will be really difficult for me to roll back each one of them. Instead, what we do is, instead of write, we use all the OBJCV. Multiple OBJCVs are used for each of your tables, and the last step is going to be commit. That they will all be committed at once. The last step I would add is a commit. All the changes, deletions, insertions, whatever are there, everything will go in one instance using this commit. When we mention commit, then only all the OBJCV, whatever OBJCV which are executed. OBJ actions, yes, they would be committed all at once. Till then, these options or these records that would be there, they are in deferred saves. We call them deferred saves and deferred deletes. Ideally, OBJCV means a delete, but unless you commit, they are not present on the DB. There is a transition state that these records would be in. We call it deferred saves and deferred delete. Deferred save and deferred delete. Even for delete also, it's the same. Ideally, what we do is we put a commit method towards the end of the activity that all your changes are just committed at once. That if you have to roll back, it will be a little easy for us. Have any configurations also. Just commit means it commits in this to be DB. Even though your instance is saved, it's not sent immediately to DB. That's the whole point of your deferred save. The last question. It is not related to data page. It is related to activity. If I have to loop, for example, on 4th step, we have loop. How to loop? Because I saw that a lot of options on which I just understood how to loop or loop. I understood. Otherwise, I was not able to. Let's have a look at existing. Where you can loop across different levels. Let me take this. What is it doing? Determines if the past in the case type name is a child case type or not. It loops through the case type list on the application, opens case type checks if it is present on it. This activity that is there, it will check whether the case types in your application are child cases or not. I mean, are they child case types? Is what it will check for that if you observe this part of at the read base class. Here there is a loop for each embedded page on the list. For each embedded page, what is it doing? Loop through the case type listed, and this is a platform provided one. What is it doing? It is looping the data for each of the case types and for every item on the list. This is executed. Let me see this verify email account. No loop. This is not going to. I don't know. I'll just repeat. I think this shows normally something. This is loop with the Java file. Now, if you see this class is prediction externalities. And the loop is for each embedded page. Now here the prediction list dot px results is what you are looping it on. And this would be in another class therapy, px results. Prediction list is part of code-pega-list. For which in fact, why did we come here? What are we looking for? Looping on. We wanted to understand looping. On each of these, what is happening is now prediction list is of the type coded -pega -list. Now prediction list .px results is of the type work -prediction. Now whatever the items I have on the work -prediction, all of those are being set with the parameter. I mean, each one of them is being identified separately and each one of them is being opened. Then a page copy is happening. It is being moved from the existing context. It is moved on to the PX results, and then the page from which it is copied is removed. And don't focus on the logic. Just look at what this loop is doing for every item that is on the prediction list. That is on the PX results. For every item on this prediction list dot PX results, each of the items, you see the set with a particular property. And they are opening it and they are doing a page copy and then finally removing that. Still not very clear. For each, what if the loop is for each top level page? What happens? Mentioning for each top level page, the activity will consider this class as the top level page. Correct. It will be enabled for looping in instances related to work-prediction, -text analytics. But now, when you mentioned an embedded page and you have given the context as this prediction list.px results, whatever the type of your PX results is, it could be data-candidate, it could be data-student. In this scenario, it is some work-prediction. Every item of this class, which is of the type work-prediction, are looped. See, that's why you see for each embedded page. Your work-prediction is an embedded page on this particular prediction.text analytics class. I will try to show something more relevant. Let's see the same email. All attack. Again, there's no looping here. Maybe I'll check for some activity which has some good looping scenario and I'll try to show that. Currently, I don't find anything. They don't have any. But I'll try to definitely check some nice activity for it. Monday again. I'll make a note of it. One is that different classes on the savable data page. Other is the active. And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.